Is it possible to write an essay using linking devices? Yes, of course. That's what I'm going to teach you in this video. There is an important tip which I would like to tell you now. What is that? Have a list of maximum number of linking devices and phrases along with you before you start writing. Learn them with their usage in a particular context because they will help you to develop your arguments. Keep in mind, a linking word, which is a suitable one, will allow you to formulate an elegant sentence which will be a continuation of the previous one. Therefore, you will be able to write an essay with logical sequence. Listen to me carefully. The essay which I am going to explain here is "Do you agree or disagree" essay. This is an opinion essay. Let's get started. Here is the sample essay which I have written, and I'll explain to you step by step how to develop this essay. First, let me read out the topic for you. Some people say that it is possible to tell a lot about a person's culture and character from their choice of clothes. I have already told you that after getting the topic, don't start writing immediately. You read the topic again and again, as many times as possible. Now let's do paraphrasing. And what did I say in my last video? How do we do paraphrasing? We cut this topic into pieces based on the idea. Let's do that first. 1. Some people. 2. Say. 3. It is possible to tell. 4. About a person's culture and character. 5. From his choice of clothes. After doing this, let's convert them into our own words. So for some people, let's write "there are a few." For say, let's write "estimate." It is possible to tell. Let's write "is understood." About a person's culture and character, let's write an individual's lifestyle and personality. And finally, from their choice of clothes, let's convert like this: by his selection of apparels. What is next? Next is to formulate a sentence using these words or phrases. Okay? So it is up to you to formulate a meaningful sentence. So combine them into a sentence. And this is how I wrote. Let me read it for you. There are a few who estimate that an individual's lifestyle and personality is understood by his selection of apparels. Now we have done the paraphrasing effectively. I hope that you have understood. Okay? I would also request you to take note of the vocabulary I used. Okay? In writing, if you have to get above 7, you have to use high-level vocabulary. And those words which I used, please take note of them and learn. Our next task is to write thesis statement. And what is a thesis statement? Answer to the question. Okay? Here the question is, do you agree or disagree? You know, it is an opinion essay. So you have to clearly state your opinion. Here, this is my opinion. I completely disagree to this. Your next task is to give reasons, the arguments. So it is called argumentative essay. You have to give your reasons and choose 2 reasons. Keep in mind, you should be particularly careful to choose 2 reasons which are easy and convenient for you to explain. And these are my reasons. Please listen to me. I read out it for you. I completely disagree to this because many would like to follow fashionable trends while choosing outfits. A person's traits should be ascertained by his beliefs and values. I repeat my reasons. Listen to me carefully. The first reason is that many would like to follow fashionable trends while choosing outfits. The second reason is that a person's traits should be ascertained by his beliefs and values. I request you to take note of the vocabularies I used. Here I would like to mention the word ascertained. What does it mean? To tell a lot about. To tell about, ascertain, decide. Okay? Now we have written our introduction. Okay? Our introduction is paraphrasing and thesis statement. So please go through them. I hope you have understood it clearly. Now let's move to main body paragraph 1. What do we do there? We explain our points. We explain our first point, the thesis statement, in the first main body paragraph. And in this essay, my focus is to write or to develop our arguments using linking devices. Okay, you don't need to think a lot. You don't need to have scientific knowledge. How? Let's write our arguments using linking words or connecting words. Let's see in the following. Our first task is to write a topic sentence. Okay, a strong sentence which we write based on our first point in the thesis statement. Before you start writing, please observe the key words or important words in the thesis statement. Here I note fashionable trends and outfits. So those words I noted particularly. And I asked the question what? What fashionable trends in relation to outfits? What is the fashionable trend in relation to outfits? I am going to write an answer to that question, and keep in mind, answer to that question is the topic sentence. And here it is. I begin with a linking word, primarily. Primarily, the textile industry is booming rapidly, bringing innovative outputs every year. Did you notice my answer to the question, what is the trend? The trend is that the textile industry, the clothing industry is booming rapidly. Booming rapidly means growing fastly. How? Bringing innovative outputs. Innovative means new outputs every year. Keep in mind, to write your topic sentence, ask a most appropriate question to the first point in the thesis statement. Okay? In this case, I asked what. Now let's use linking words to give supportive arguments. Okay? There are so many linking words. I request you to write them down in a notebook and learn when and where they are used. Okay? And here I have taken the following ones. Primarily, I already used. Then naturally, as, so also, thus, therefore. Now let's use them. First I take naturally. Think if you are able to write something meaningful which will be supportive to or justifying the topic sentence. And this is what I wrote. Naturally, people, especially the young, are inclined to do experiments with them. Do you understand? It is quite natural when there are new arrivals in the market. People will have, especially the young people will have the tendency to experiment with them, to try them. So that is my simple logic. Now I use the linking word as. The word as we use to give a reason. Okay, here I am going to say why people try new arrivals. I write, as human nature is always to embrace novelties along with comfort, most men and women prefer what his or her heart wants. So also what is trendy. With the linking words as and so also, I gave an explanation or reason for the previous sentence. And I continue, thus, the sense of clothing is always fluctuating and therefore it should not be a parameter to decide an individual's orientation. The word thus means because of these above reasons. Okay, that is the meaning of that linking word. Thus, the sense of clothing is always fluctuating. What does it mean fluctuating? Changing. Okay, fashion, trends, they are fluctuating, changing. And therefore, because of that reason, it should not be a parameter to decide an individual's orientation because the trends are fluctuating, the clothing style is changing, we cannot take it as a parameter means criterion, or what to say, a factor to decide, okay, or assess an individual. Now you see how with the help of linking words I developed my arguments. How did I support my topic sentence? So choose linking words which help you to write something sensible, or linking words will help you to develop your arguments, will give you a logical sequence. Now I am going to write an example which may not be true to fact. You can fabricate an example, but keep in mind the example should justify the entire paragraph, not just one single sentence in the paragraph. Now let me read it out for you. For instance, I have a friend who follows strange fashion. She has also represented our college in many events across the world. She is known for good manners and nobility of thoughts. See, this argument justifies the entire arguments in the paragraph. We should write our example in that way. Okay. And I told you that it need not be true to fact. You can fabricate an example. Okay. Now I move on to the second main body paragraph. And here I am explaining the second point in my thesis statement. My first concern is to write a topic sentence. To write a topic sentence, I ask the question, how to the second point in the thesis statement. How a person's traits should be ascertained. As I told you, you need not write any scientific answer based on some principles and formulas. You write something sensible and meaningful, which also will be convenient for you to explain. Okay, and this is what I wrote. I began with a linking word, furthermore. Furthermore, a person's behavior can be determined by the attitudes developed since childhood. This is my simple answer to that question. Now I have elaborated my points with supportive arguments, and I did with the help of linking word and phrases. These are the linking word and phrases which I used. Therefore, this is because, on the other hand, and finally based on these. After writing the linking word therefore, I have written like this. The way someone is seen may not be what he really is. Now I have to use the linking phrase, this is because. So this is to give an explanation, a reason. Okay, and this is what I wrote. This is precisely because outfits do not communicate much about one's being. I did not say something extraordinary. I said a simple thing, that is, our dressing style does not communicate what we really are. If not, what is that matters? Something else. And the linking word, on the other hand, gives me an idea. And this is what I wrote. On the other hand, the doings and dealings, confrontations and responses at various instances reveal a person. Please note the vocabularies I used. They stand for the word behavior. They give the details of a person's character. When you use them in your writing, they will improvise your language and will help you to have your essay an elegant outlook. And finally, I wrote my last supportive argument using the linking phrase based on these. So let's read based on these. One's genuine trait can be sketched out. So in this paragraph, I have only said a simple thing. That is, a person's behavior can be determined by his activities. How he behaves, responds to various situations. Here, the linking words helped me to formulate sentences which are something meaningful. And the last part of my essay is conclusion. And how did I do here? I summarized the main body paragraph 1 and 2 in 2 sentences. Let me read out it for you. I began like this. To conclude, one must understand that a person's appearance alone can never convey his traditional personality. So that is the first main body paragraph. The second main body paragraph has been summarized like this. We must take into account one's disposition. while he handles various instances, especially the unpleasant.
So, my dear students, this is how we develop our poems to write an essay. Be thorough with as many linking words and phrases as possible and learn them in which context they are used. See you soon with another essay. Thank you.